So Russia continues to not do itself any favors in the Orwellian nightmare department, as they are planning to introduce new laws that would require foreign visitors to sign a quote loyalty agreement. This is according to the Interior Ministry of Russia and is reported on by the state news agency TASS. This legislation would prohibit visitors from criticizing Russian policy or discrediting Soviet history, and would also require them to respect traditional Russian family values, culture, and environment. The proposed pledge that you would have to sign would effectively control what foreign visitors can say or do in Russia, restricting actions such as interfering with Russian public authorities, also known as protesting, discrediting the state policy of Russia, whether it's on human rights or LGBTQ, or even discussing Ukraine, to include talking about Russian losses in Ukraine. It also bans distorting historical facts about the Soviet Union's role in World War II. And when I say distorting historical facts, it is Russia's version of history in this situation. This includes a ban on, quote, misrepresenting the Soviet people's contribution to defeating fascism, which means that if you discuss the U.S. Lend-Lease program, which helped Russia, and the fact that the Soviet Union actually formed a pact with the Nazis early in the war and then invaded Poland with the Nazis to split it amongst themselves, you could be in trouble. The legislation is in the advanced stages of development and is being worked by the Interior Ministry and the presidential administration. It still needs to be introduced in the State Duma and undergo committee review, pass several readings before it is signed into law by President Putin, all of which is expected to happen. The law also aims to enforce adherence to traditional family values and outlaw behaviors and expressions that contravene these values in line with Russia's conservative moral stance backed by the Russian Orthodox Church. This includes a crackdown on the LGBTQ community, any kind of gender-affirming care and surgeries, and a ban on what they call, quote, gay propaganda, which means there is no gay representation in the media. Now, a side note, a Russian court just ruled that the LGBTQ movement is an extremist group in Russia, which criminalizes any activist activity in support of the LGBTQ movement. Additionally, the law proposes prohibiting activities that show neglect toward Russia's environment, regional and ethno-cultural diversity, as well as anything that is affront to traditional moral and spiritual values. The initiative aligns with President Putin's portrayal of Russia as defending its civilization against the perceived Western decadence, especially as the 2024 presidential election approaches. Now, what is interesting is previously, the absence of a loyalty agreement has never stopped Russia from detaining foreigners and trumping up charges for them. But now it seems like they can be used to create legitimate charges, and such actions will take place when a visitor inevitably complains about the shittiness of Russia while they're there. It's gonna happen. So, are you planning on signing a loyalty pledge if you were, for some damn reason, deciding to go to Russia? Let me know in the comments.